राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण राम हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे निताय गौर हरे 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 Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radha, Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radha, Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radha. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Hari Ram Sankirtan ki, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Thank you, dear devotees, for joining in this chanting of the holy name of the Lord. We know in this age of Kali, the only way of deliverance is chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So Mataji told me to speak something in glorification to the holy name. So I was thinking to narrate the pastime of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, where he personally instructed his dear devotee to chant the holy name of the Lord. So we know Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was in Navadvip, at one point in time he decided to go to Bangladesh. How many of you know Bangladesh? Which is called Purva Banga, East Bengal today. So now that is separate from India. India is called Paschim Banga. I mean to say one part of India, not whole India. One part of India is called Paschim Banga, and the Bangladesh is called Purva Banga, East Bengal. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he went to Purva Banga, East Bengal, and he stayed there for some time. Then the Lord desired to return to his home, Paschim Banga. When he decided to return, this message went around West Bengal, East Bengal, and the people of East Bengal, they, upon hearing Lord's return to his home, they came to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when they came with various gifts they wanted to offer to the Lord. What are the different gifts they brought for the Lord? They brought gold, silver, water pots, sitting asana, colorful blankets, you can say shawl, various clothing, and many other items that Lord can bring home. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu glanced all the devotees who came with beautiful gifts, and upon glancing them mercifully, he honored everybody and he received the gifts. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to leave the place. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was about to leave the place, some of the students who were studying under Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in East Bengal. Actually, before he went to East Bengal, he had some students in West Bengal. So he went to teach them for some time in East Bengal. So when he was departing from East Bengal, some of the students, they joined with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They said, we will go with you because we want to study with you in Mayapur. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, okay, all right. So when they prepared, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started, and he came with all the students, and he was sitting on the bank of Padma. There is a river by the name called Padma river. At that time, in the meanwhile, a very beautiful, pious, swan-like Brahmana, whose name is Tapan Mishra, he came to meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When he came to meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so in the purport it is said, you try to understand who Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to speak about the glories of the holy name. We say a swan-like man whose name is Tapan Mishra. Why it have been said his name is like a swan-like Brahmana? See, this Brahmana was not any ordinary Brahmana. He was in the meantime engaged in the chanting the holy name of the Lord. But on those days, those who were not doing rituals, sacrifices as recommended for the Brahmanas, they were not taken so seriously. But because this Tapan Mishra in the meantime had developed taste for chanting the holy name of the Lord, so he was hidingly chanting the name without letting anyone know what he is doing. And to understand his position, in the purport it is explained, it is said that out of thousands of Brahmanas, one who is qualified to perform sacrifices, he is better. Means there might be many Brahmanas. Out of these thousands, one person who performs Vedic sacrifice, he is to be considered the best. Then, out of those thousands of Brahmanas who are qualified to perform these Vedic sacrifices, the one who has already rise above the Vedic rituals and knowledge, he is the best. And out of such Brahmanas who are already above the knowledge of the Veda, one who is a devotee of Lord Vishnu, he is to be considered highest. Then out of such many people, Brahmanas, who are engaged in performing Vishnu Bhakti, the one who is engaged in the service of the Lord, means one who is completely fixed in the devotional service unto Krishna, he is the best. So this person, this Brahmana, you can see, he did not have any attachment to performing the Vedic rituals, nor did he have an inclination to study the Vedic literatures. He was simply engaged in chanting the holy name of the Lord, because he was not engaged in any other activities. Therefore, sometimes he was thinking, maybe I am not in a correct path. Like sometimes it happens, right? It's just like a social pressure. Like in a family, if one person takes to Krishna consciousness, then the rest of the family members, they see him in a very different way. They say, what is this man doing? Why he is taken to this Krishna consciousness? Why he is chanting? Why he is leading such a strange life? So people sometimes they criticize, and this man he feels also, oh, maybe I am not properly situated. So this devotee, he was also thinking, maybe there is something lacking in me. So he was thinking, what is the goal of life? And if I know the goal of life, then I can also pursue to attain that goal. But in this way, he was day and night thinking about what is the goal of life, what he should do. Then one day when he went to sleep, late at night, he had a wonderful dream. The demigods, they appeared in his dream and they told him, he said, "Dear Brahmana, you do not know the Supreme Personality of Godhead who has appeared in form of Sri Chaitanya, Gauranga, and he is right here. You better go and meet with him, then he will tell you what is the goal of life and how to pursue the goal." And then he woke up from the dream. He was very happy. Oh, now I have got the message where to go and find out the goal of life. That's how this Tapan Mishra, he came to meet with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu while he was sitting on the bank of Padma with all his students. And when he came, with folded hand, he offered prostrated obeisances to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then he stood up in humility as he inquired from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately said, "Oh, you are a very, very fortunate soul, because in the meantime you have developed the desire to serve Krishna." Very important point. Serving Krishna is not so easy. Even in some scripture it is mentioned that in Dwapara Yuga people used to worship Krishna by following Pancharatrika Vidhi. But while they follow this Pancharatrika Vidhi, they need very opulent ritualistic rituals to use in Krishna's service. But in this age of Kali, just by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one can worship Krishna. So that he was already doing in the meantime, right? As we mentioned, he was chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That itself is a worship to Krishna. So Mahaprabhu told him that you are very fortunate that you have accepted the path of serving Krishna directly. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he then instructed to him that Lord, he comes to this world to establish the religious activities to be adopted by people in different ages. In Satya Yuga, Dhyan, Treta, Yajna, then Dwapar Yuga, deity worship, and Kali Yuga, Harinam. So therefore, you should know, my dear Brahmana, Mahaprabhu said, Kali Yuga dharma hoy nama sankirtan chari yuge chari dharma jiver karan. So the Yuga dharma for age of Kali is congregational chanting of the holy name of the Lord. The four religious principles for the four ages are all meant for the deliverance of the conditioned souls. Whatever result one obtained in Satya Yuga by meditating on Vishnu, in Treta Yuga by performing sacrifices, and in Dwapara Yuga by serving the Lord's lotus feet, can be obtained in Kali Yuga simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Ataev Kali Yuge Nama Yajna Sar Ar Puno Dharma Kaile Nahi Hoy Par. So therefore Mahaprabhu very assertively he concluded that even if somebody takes to other religious processes like karma kandis, they perform ritualistic ceremonies, jnanis, they perform their shastra abhyasa, yogis, they take to the Ashtanga yoga practice, ascetics, they perform some austerities, some they try to attain yoga siddhis. So Mahaprabhu is saying, Atayev Kali Yuge Nam Yajna Sar, because Krishna has come down in form of the holy name of the Lord. Therefore, in this age of Kali, chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the highest form of sacrifice. Not that we call a Brahmana, I don't know whether in this country they do or not. In some places outside India also, those who are coming, actually their descendants are from India. If you go to, for example, Bali, you know Bali? Bali, Indonesia. We have Hindu descendants there. If you go there, still they will be performing a lot of rituals, sacrifices, swaha, swaha, and doing all sorts of karma kind activities. And they feel that is how we should be religious. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, our kuno dharma koile nahi hoy paya. Without chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, if a person in this age of Kali takes to any other rituals, any other religious practices, he will not be able to get himself delivered. So therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Tapan Mishra that Ratri Dina Namaloy Khaite Suite Tahar Mahima Vede Nahi Paredite. He is saying, even Veda is unable to describe the glories of one who chants this holy name of the Lord all time, while eating, while sleeping. And then Mahaprabhu says that you should go back, you must chant this holy name. You try to understand, there is a verse in Puran, it says, Rig Vedothar Jajurveda Sama Veda Pyatharvana Adhitas Tena Jenoktam Hari Rityaksharadvayam. Just Hari, these two words, anyone who chants this name, two syllable word Hari, it should be understood that he had already studied all four Vedas. Even in Bhagavatam it is explained. What we are saying, we are trying to understand the glories of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We are chanting this Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. But we still have lot of attachment to other things, and we feel this chanting is not enough. Therefore, we are trying to understand that what the glories of chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is. In Bhagavatam it is said, Ahovato swapachoto garyan jajjuhagre vartate namatobhyam te pustapaste juhavu sasnurarya brahmanucharnama granhanti jayate. Here in this verse it is said that Ahovato swapachoto nama garyan jajjuhagre vartate namatobhyam. Even if somebody is born in a Chandala family, who is Chandala? Chandala means dog eater. Dog eater are actually outcast. They are not included within four Varna ashram system like Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. They are not part of this system. They are outside of this system. That means even in Vedic society, in Vedic civilization, some Brahmanas, they say the Sudras who are low class, they don't have right to study the Veda. They don't have right to perform any rituals because they are low born. Now you can imagine, so somebody who is not even included within this structure of four system, the Varnashram system, he is already outside of this system. So what is the hope for him? There is no hope for him from that perspective. But Srimad Bhagavatam says, Ahovato swapachota nama garyan jajjuhagre vartate namatabhyam. He's saying, oh, what a glorious person he is. Means even if somebody born in a Chandala family, dog eater's family, if you see his tongue is vibrating Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Jajjuhagre vartate namatobhyam. If your name is vibrated by the tongue of a Chandala, then he should be understood that he is topmost, Gauriyan. Means he has studied all the Vedas. He is already in the highest platform. So therefore, understanding the position of this age of Kali, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has come with this very practical solution. What? Chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It's so easy, right? You tell me, what is the difficulty in chanting this mantra? There is no difficulty. But still, people don't chant. And here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then he is saying, Suno Misra Kali Yuge Nahi Tapa Yajna. In this age of Kali, there is no other austerity or sacrifice prescribed. What we have to do? Jai Jana Bhaje Krishna Tara Mahabhagya. That means everybody is thinking of attaining the good fortune, right? How to attain good fortune? If you ask somebody, what is your definition of attaining good fortune? He will say, oh, if I can work in a bank as a bank manager, if I can become a CEO in a company, that is how I can create my good fortune. No. See, material success is not good fortune. Unfortunately, people in this age, they are thinking that is the good fortune. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that he is saying, Jai Jana Bhaje Krishna Tara Mahabhagya. Anyone who chants this Krishna's holy name or who worships Krishna is the most fortunate. And worshipping Krishna in this age of Kali is chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Therefore, he said, go back to your home and worship Lord Krishna with full attention, giving up all duplicity. This word is used by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is saying, giving up all duplicity, you must go back home and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And then he said, this is sadhya and sadhana. This is the process and this is the goal. If you chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you can directly associate with Krishna. Sometimes some people ask, we have heard from Prabhupada's tape, even nowadays also, some people they say, Swamiji, can you show me God? You want to see God, you want to experience God, you want to embrace God, chant this mantra. Or no, they don't want to chant. Such a simple process. Even if you are thinking you want to see Krishna, Krishna can reveal himself to you when you chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Therefore, it is a Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Iva Kevalam. What is the time now? Okay. So, Hare Nama Iva Kevalam. We have been hearing this. Why? So many times it has been stressed, 3 times. Srila Prabhupada explains. Srila Prabhupada is saying in the purport that this use of the word Kevalam, only cultivation of this, it prohibits all other processes such as cultivation of knowledge, practice of mystic yoga or performance of austerities and fruitive activities. This verse certainly states that anyone who accepts only any other path cannot be delivered. This is the reason for this triple repetition. Nothing else which emphasizes the real process of self-realization. That means, in this age of Kali, the only means of self-realization is just chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And Srila Prabhupada, he is very interestingly giving a comment in the purport, I want to just read out so that you know what Prabhupada is speaking. He is speaking very practical. He is saying, it is our practical experience in the Krishna consciousness movement all over the world that many millions of people are factually coming to the spiritual stage of life simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra regularly according to the prescribed principles. This is something to be taken very seriously, according to the prescribed principles. We have been doing this kind of Sankirtan, Kirtan Mela, chanting on individual capacity. Sometimes we come in group, we do Kirtan, and we have been hearing also. If we ask to ourselves personally, it is so that the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is so glorious, so much glory have been said about this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and where I am, have I ever experienced any such glories of the holy name? Like, it is said, in Bhagavatam it is said, anyone who chants this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, tears will roll down from his eyes. Okay. And then he said another thing also. Bhagavatam says, if by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, tears does not roll down from the eyes, then it is to be understood his heart is still framed. Okay, now I am asking you, do you have any of this feeling that when you are chanting, tears roll down from your eyes? Or if it is not rolling, if tear does not roll down from your eyes, do you still feel that your heart is still framed? If somebody tells, Prabhu, your heart is still framed, you say, what? Can you see? I am very soft man. I behave everything with everyone very nicely. No, we haven't invited the Lord to occupy a seat in our heart. So when we are engaged in chanting this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it has to be very, very carefully chanted. And like we discussed about this chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, right? So the offenses to be avoided while chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So before I go to discuss that, I just wanted to read out something from Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. What he has said is a different perspective to understand the glories of the holy name. And in Brihan Naradiya Puran, it is said that what is this Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Sarva rogo pasamanam, sarvapadravanashanam. Means, when one is engaged in chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, this just simply chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he can become free from all kinds of diseases. Sarva roga upasamanam. All diseases will go away just by simply chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And sarvopadravanashanam. Upadrava means there are different kind of sufferings one undergo, the troubles in this world, right? The calamities, they are all destroyed simply by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. I know there were some devotees in Vrindavan. He was a brahmachari. He was living in an ashram in Vrindavan, and he would always chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Always. Just while sleeping, maybe in sleeping time also, in the sleep he is chanting. Just 2 to 3 hours he will sleep, not more than that. Throughout the whole day and night he would chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. When he became old, then he became very sick. And when he fell sick, actually he fell sick because he was not eating also properly. He was not taking care of his health. The Mahanta of the temple told him, he said, Prabhu, you have to eat at least. But he would not listen. And then one day he fell ill. And the illness continued to such an extent, he was admitted in the hospital. Even in the hospital, he would not eat anything except anything. He said, this is sarvopadravanasana, this is sarvaroga upasamanam. So what? I have got this body will one day leave me. I have to leave this body. Why should I endeavor so much? He has so much faith on this chanting of the holy name. Of course, we are not saying that we have to go to such an extent, but there are some people who still have that kind of faith. They completely rely on this holy name of the Lord. Now you may ask this question, Prabhu, so what happened? So finally he fell ill. He got admitted in the hospital. So what is the use of chanting this Hare Krishna Mahamantra? You are saying Sarva Rogo Upasamanam Sarvapadravanashanam. If it is going to make one free from all kinds of sufferings and troubles, and it is going to save one from all types of diseases, but this man, he fell ill, he was admitted in the hospital. You are seeing the external thing, you are not able to see the internal thing. This is the last birth for him. Definitely, Lord is not going to bring him back to this world again. This is Sarva Padravanashanam. If you have this body, then only you will face the trouble. Right? A devotee never asks the Lord, because I am chanting your name, because I have become your devotee, therefore I should not have these troubles in my life. If a devotee thinks like that, then he has not become a Lord's devotee. That we have to understand. Rather, devotee tells Lord, he prays, he said, my dear Lord, whatever prarabdha karma I have, let me suffer in this body. Just clean me up. I want to finish off everything, so that there is nothing remaining to bring me back to this world again. So that is the last. Sometimes Lord uses this prarabdha to increase the longing of the devotees, the dependency of the devotees on the Lord. So when we see somebody who has become such a dedicated devotee of the Lord, he is such, he is engaged in devotional service so nicely, if apparently speaking, he is undergoing some troubles, some sufferings in this world, there should not be accepted as a negative point of Krishna conscious practice. No, devotees never ask the Lord to remove those difficulties. Even Kunti Maharani says, Vipado Santuto Sasva Tatra Tatra Jagat Guru. Give me more sufferings. Even if we don't ask for more sufferings, we don't go to him to help us remove the suffering. That is not the highest form of devotional service, what we are trying to say. Sometimes some devotees go also pray to the Lord, that's a different thing. But those who are situated on the highest platform of Krishna consciousness, they feel, is Lord my servant? When you go to Lord, you ask him, my dear Lord, I am suffering. And then you want him to clean your mess. That means you are using him as your servant. You created the mess, now he has to come and clean the mess for you. No. Understand? So that is the point. That's why those who are in high consciousness, they don't want. But again, what happens when you become a sincere devotee of the Lord? How Lord personally helps you. Like we have seen in the pastime of Lord Jagannath, he had a friend whose name was Raghu. You know this pastime? Jagannath had a friend, his name was Raghu. And Jagannath likes to eat You know what is Jagannath's favorite? Fruit? What does Jagannath like? Which fruit? Jackfruit. Yes, Jagannath likes jackfruit. Anyone have jackfruit here? Then you should bring for the Lord. Okay? He likes jackfruit very much. So Jagannath will go with this Raghu to the neighbor's garden to steal jackfruit. This is what Jagannath used to do. Raghu was a boy. He will come with him, assume the form of a boy, and both of them, they will go to steal jackfruit. One day, both of them, they entered into the jackfruit garden, and Jagannath told Raghu, you go up, I am standing down. And if I see the owner of the garden coming, then I will tell you, you quickly come down, then we will leave. Then Raghu said, all right, you stand in the ground, I will climb up the tree, and I will get the ripe jackfruit, then you will go. Then what happened? Raghu went up, Jagannath is standing in the ground, and all of a sudden the owner came. When owner came, Jagannath ran away. He couldn't find Jagannath. Then when he came, he saw Raghu is standing. Raghu is there on the tree. Then, as you know, what will happen? Raghunath got all the beatings, and crying, he came back to the temple. Then he said, Jagannath, is this what right thing to do? Why did you do this? Jagannath said, Raghu, what can I do? He came. I had no time to tell you. And all of a sudden, this man came. That's why I quickly ran away. Okay, he has beaten you. I will take care. Don't worry. You can see such intimacy Jagannath had with this boy Raghu. And one day, what happened? This Raghu was just a single man. He was staying at his place, and one time he fell very ill. He was having diarrhea, and he did not have the capacity to go to the washroom. He was lying on his bed. Then after some time, he became unconscious, Raghu. And then when he came back to consciousness, he saw Jagannath is sitting next to him and he is cleaning. Then Raghu said, Jagannath, why do you do this? Why do you do this? You can engage anyone to do this for me, but you have accepted this, low-class service for me you are cleaning me. And Jagannath said, Raghu, my devotees are very dear to me. You see, so there are so many pastimes, even in Jagannath's Leela also we have seen there was a devotee. Oh, she is ready now. Okay. So we will not narrate that pastime. So the point is, when we become Lord's devotee by chanting the holy name, Lord becomes so close to us that He can sometimes personally come and take care of you. But a devotee never pray to the Lord to become His servant. Because Lord is worshipable. Lord is worshipable person. So therefore the devotees are always engaged in just doing this service. And here by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we can be happily engaged in His service. So just last point, as I was saying, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he said, I will just quickly say, somebody after taking initiation, if he is not chanting properly, his initiation is not complete. Try to understand this. Maybe I should read out for you so that you just give me 1 minute, Mataji. So quickly I will just tell it. Then we will conclude this with this Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's quote. He said, the success of Diksha is inclination for Harinam. Whoever remains fixed in chanting inoffensively should be understood to have undergone Diksha and all other proceedings. That means if by after taking Diksha you are not have not developed inclination to chant, we are not engaged in chanting without offense, then our Diksha is not complete. Okay. So, thank you all very much. May Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the father of Sankirtan, bless all of you so that you can chant this holy name of the Lord with profound consciousness and engage in Krishna's service in form of chanting the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki, Gaura Premanande, Hare.